Alright, welcome to vlog 4. I finally got the chalk bag that I talked about in Germany. So thank you, BOC and stuff. This week, doing the qualifier on Friday. I don't think I'm going to do a taper for it. I'm just going to train straight through, so we'll kind of see what numbers will be there. Might not go for PR if it's just not in the books that day. Missed out on Bear Camp, but got the shirt, so I was there in spirit, I guess. But yeah, today we got some snatch clusters, pause cleans, and some beltless back squats. So we'll see how heavy I can beltless back squat. I think the last time I did it, I think I got into the 360s and 370s, but I don't know. Maybe we're stronger now.
Hey, 9mm, my brothers, my keeper was serving that ether before I did features. My mama said she know how to grip me, she know how to keep me, she better get. 9mm, my brothers, my keeper was serving that ether before I did features. My mama said she know how to grip me, she know how to keep me, she keep me, she.
Fuck your dead homie, run your bread homie. Got some left on me, I'm on Artesia. Parked in my Beamer, bumping my own shit. I'm focused, they stuck on that dope shit. Living for that true religion is broke shit. I can spin that on the Mac with a long clip, flying that bitch, but you out of that focus. My nigga just focus, I'm trying to paint you a picture. We stuck in the moment. My burner gets stuck if I shoot it too much, so a nigga resorted to doming. That's somebody's son with a water be one, baby. Either go hunt or be hunted. You grabbing the bucket, he call me crabs on shining in front of the Douglas. I cannot be fucked, we dug in public.
9mm, my brothers, my keeper was serving that ether before I did features. My mama said she know how to grip me, she know how to keep me, she better get. 9mm, my brothers, my keeper was serving that ether before I did features. My mama said she know how to grip me, she know how to keep me, she better get. 9mm, my brothers, my keeper was serving that ether before I did features. My mama said she know how to grip me, she know how to keep me, she better get.
Yeah, I'm doing it on Friday. It'll probably be like, I'm trying to think. It's going to be, I think I'm going to start lifting around like 8 my time, 8 or 8:30. So that should be like 1 in the morning or something for you.
Was that, so, is that Thursday night or Friday night?
It'll still be Friday.
Okay, so
Yeah.
it'll be Friday into Saturday.
No. You're only 7 hours behind me. So like it'll be Friday, like right after midnight for you. Like
Got it.
Thursday night going into Friday. Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense.
The good thing about the competition is you buddy. No matter how pain you are, like if you got injured or anything, the competition there you feel nothing. You feel like all your muscles, all your bones and everything feels like totally fine.
So a good thing about today, as we go into the qualifiers, I woke up at 81 flat today. So now it's just staying disciplined so I can keep this weight throughout the week. I think Big Man still has to lose like a kilo or 2 or something. But he'll be alright.
It's gonna be alright.
Some hungry nights, that's all.
Probably get on this elliptical for an hour.
The worst part is I can't even look forward to a good meal Friday before the lift. Because it's going to be a glizzy or whatever they serve them. Like, no need to be nervous.
It's really not.
Honestly, I feel like on competition days, it's kind of like what She's a Young says. And I think that's what I saw in this too. Where it's like, even if you don't feel the best, it's very easy to like fake it as if you do.
Yeah.
Because like most of the time, it's like you finally got to eat normal again. You've peaked or like you're at like the best shape that you're gonna be in for like that time. And it's just a competition. It's like you're probably lifting on like some of the best equipment that day. Like it's like so many factors where it's like,
That's true.
yeah, you might physically feel somewhat bad just because like maybe you woke up sick or something, but I don't know, it's easy to trick myself to being like, I feel the best I can possibly feel, you know?
That's true. I mean, I don't know. I've done several CrossFit competitions. Always fun. Although I did take dead last once. That one, they put out 5 workouts for that competition, and all 5 were just things I was terrible at. I was like, well, this is great.
But I can see how a CrossFit competition would be less nerve-wracking than
Yeah, I mean, because it's like, fuck it up.
and a lot of times like CrossFit, you're not, like I just have to go do this many reps of this, or like in a sense, you're not doing a run rep max. So like you have multiple attempts on whatever you're about to do to kind of like figure it out. As long as you figure it out before somebody else, like you're not gonna be dead last like you just said. But this is like fun. I only got 3 attempts for both lifts, so it's like shit. But at least it's a qualifier, so you get what you need.
I remember that. There was one, like the first workout of the competition, because it was like all cardio events. I'm a big dude, so that's like not my cup of tea. It was like 150 double unders, and I could barely do them at the time, and do a 1,500 meter row into a 1 mile run. It's like the time I started my 1 mile run, the first place dude was finishing. Like I was so dusted. I was like, damn. Like, So 3, so 2 more.
You want the dowsing on this one?
Sure.
You forget to give it to you.
I mean, I just make sure to pause for a second while I'm doing.
Yeah.
It took forever.
And that's how it is though. They're gonna wait to make sure that you're stable and then take you down. Yeah, it's not gonna be like, oh, we're just lifting this a lift where you're like, you just gotta come up, you're like, yeah, I got it. Like they're gonna make sure that you're still and then take you down. I guess I should have warmed up and be right. We'll see how it goes.
Yeah.
It'll buff.
Yeah, it will. That's fine. It'll definitely will. I would give you a yes sir, but you know how that goes on Instagram.
And the people love it. Look, it's your thing right now.
Hey, I can't give you too many yes sirs.
People love it. Give the people what they want. That's why you gotta post it. You gotta post your lips too, so that I'm the yes sir for you, you know? I'm the hype man for you and your video.
Okay, alright. We'll sneak a few in every now and then.
I'll make sure they're all like ill timed. Yes, sir. Oh, I have to say, hella late. Dude, it's days like this where I don't get high and power clean 35 this week. So that shit easily. Like I was like, yo, this shit is moving today. But then today I'm like, I don't even want to power clean 240.
Yes, sir.
I'm doing that shit. I was like, I don't know how I'm doing it, but I'm gonna keep going up.
Yes, sir.
I'm ever ready for some lightweight shit. So you better come with something heavy and packed with dynamite.
Got some shit you want real bad. You can't wait till this shit comes. You think about this shit all the fucking time. You can't wait. Sometimes you get frustrated a little down because that shit ain't coming fast enough. Like you want it to. Sometimes you worry when it's gonna come. I'm telling y'all, no overnight it don't happen like that. You gonna get there. But I'm gonna tell you how you gonna get there. Step by fucking step. That's how this shit works. You know what I mean? Don't get discouraged. Keep putting one foot in front of the fucking head, and that's how it works. I'm gonna tell you right now, LA, shit on people you got straight in here, you still holding on to that shit you want it bad. I'm gonna tell you like this, listen, if somebody in this room got the magic power where they can snap their fingers, and as soon as they snap their fingers, Your dream is gonna be here tomorrow. When you wake up, everything you want is here. Just like that, because it's definitely true. I'm gonna tell you the truth, Ellie. You don't want it like that. Trust me. Why do I say that? Because my nigga like, my nigga, I do it. Yes, I do. Yes, I do. I take $1 million right now. Snap. But this is what I'm gonna tell you. Because when you really got a dream, you're gonna feel what I'm saying. If you go from 0 to 100 like this, you don't realize it, but what you're doing is you robbing yourself of the beauty of the fucking journey. The journey is the best part. I'm telling you that. The journey is the best part. When you go from 0 to 100, 0 to 100, you're gonna miss out on 27. 27 felt good too, but you're like, damn, I'm on 27. Then you get to fucking 58, you're like, damn, I'm all the way to 58. I'm a mile on 0. Then you get to fucking 80, and 90, 95, then you get to 100. That's how you want it. I'm telling you, it's gonna happen like that. Now, I know what I've been doing.
So today is Thursday. At this point, we're hours out from the qualifier. It is 19:30, or for the non-military folks, 7 p.m. So, yeah, just going out for a quick walk to burn a little bit of calories, loosen up, and just kind of just clear my mind. I don't know, I've been feeling very reflective today. I feel confident going into the qualifier, and I have no doubt in my mind that I'm going to hit the numbers I need to hit. I think part of me just wants to see if I can, sneak into PR, but, there's only so many PRs in it, so it's not a big deal. I understand that I haven't tapered, and I'm not at the peak yet, so it's not a big deal if we don't PR tomorrow. I think if anything, I just want a solid 225 or 102 snatch and a solid maybe 300 or 136 clean and jerk. I think that would be a good way to not only just like hit a good total for the qualifier, but just to kind of cap off this small step in the saga, you know what I mean? Good numbers, like sealing those numbers at my body weight, and then just kind of build from there going into the actual L2. Well, let me get on this walk and I'll kind of lay the story out, because I don't think I've given any context to kind of what I'm currently doing or like why I'm in this position of, having to lift outside, have had to lift in the gulag a couple months ago, and kind of why I think this qualifier and then like building up to L2 feels so big compared to, the other times I've done it in the past or just any other competition that I've ever done, So yeah, let's get started on this walk and I'll bring you in. So I think to accurately kind of lay the story out, I'm going to go all the way back to New Year's going into 2022. At that point, I had been in Kansas. I had just PCS to Kansas. Been there for about a month or two because I got there in November. Stressful time, right? Like first real PCS, first time getting my apartment. Well, I wouldn't say my first apartment, but first time getting an apartment and having no furniture, because the one I lived in before it, I was fully furnished. So, empty apartment, I just got my dog, trying to figure out furniture, like way too many things to balance at once, and I'm still trying to be consistent in the gym, I think I was training consistently, but I was only going pretty much working up to like the working sets or just working out for like an hour and calling it a day, you know what I mean? Just kind of just doing what I have to do, just for the sake of maintaining and still being consistent, and then just kind of, going, calling it a day, getting my life together some more. But eventually I figured it out. So yeah, that year, I don't even think I went home for Christmas. Fully planned to. I packed up the car, was ready to take a patch and everything, but it was an 11-hour drive. Like I said, I had just got to Kansas and was just too stressed to even try to make the drive. And then to still save the energy for actually going home back to San Antonio, being able to be around people and, still have a good mood about being around everybody, And I was building up. I think the competition I was shooting for was the Texas State Champs. That was going to be February 2022. Ended up doing the Texas State Champs. Went 98, 130. 130 was a 5 kilogram PR. I think I actually opened at 125, and it was the heaviest I've ever opened. I remember B and maybe Eli. I can't remember who all was there. There was a couple people that on the team were actually surprised that I opened that heavy and it was so smooth. It was a pretty cool moment. Snatch, I wish I would have done a little bit better, because at that time I was, at least in competition, hitting 100 consistently, and to only hit 98, I was kind of like, damn, Hindsight 2020, it is what it is. No big deal. After that, ended up going to NTC once. I think around March. Had to build up back again after that. Then a couple months later, went to NTC again. If you don't know what NTC is, it's a month-long training exercise that the Army does in California. And obviously, since we're in the field, we're not lifting or anything. So, like I said, I had to build back up twice. The first time building back up, I don't know what it was, but it just seemed like I came back physically and mentally this week in terms of trying to lift, you know what I mean? And I think it was just maybe, not that it was the first time I ever built back up or like, you know, had to go to the field or anything, but I guess not being able to just immediately hit numbers that I thought I'd be able to hit. Like even like a 70 snatch, you know what I mean? It just, like could hit it, but it just felt uncomfortable. It just was not strong, you know, it just wasn't good. The second time, things were better. I think the first session I had, I snatched 84 or something like that. It was pretty solid. Probably could have done more, but stopped there just because I already knew that not lifting for a month and being in the conditions that I was, it was just better to just take it easy and chill, you know what I mean? So, and I don't think there's anything wrong for that. I think everybody has those moments in their lifting career. But it definitely just, it's just kind of a weird time because you know you're capable of more and that you kind of know that you're not giving your full effort, but that is the effort that you have at that time. You know, that does feel like your full effort. I mean, I would say like if anybody else is in that position, like it is what it is. You just gotta keep pushing, like just keep progressing, and that's kind of why I made that my logo, because that's just what it's been for me for the past 2 years. Is just making sure that I make it to the gym, you know, the 4 or 5 days of the week, stay in there, do all the reps. Even if it's not at the weight that I wanted to do, it still is better than nothing. I think being consistent. It's kind of the same, so it's the same as when me and Matt were talking about having motivation over discipline, right? In those 2 years, for all of it, I was very unmotivated, I would say, just because, like I said, I was so busy with work, so busy trying to settle into a new place that the gym was just something that I've always had with me, so I know that I had to keep going and keep putting in that work because, you know, the mental health benefits, the physical health benefits, the overall wellness that it has. You know, I just knew it was something good for me to do. There was a lot of times where I was like, I don't know if I'm ever gonna be able to compete again. I don't know if I care enough to compete again. Like, who knows how strong I'll be able to get after this. Like, it was just kind of just going just to go, just because I just knew it was the right thing to do. I think it wasn't until like late summer of 2022, you know, around the July time frame, where I kind of had my eyes set on not competing again, but I knew I was gonna end up going home before I was gonna come over to Europe. And that going home was kind of my like mental competition, you know what I mean? Like that mental, like we're gonna lift around the team again for the first time in a while, lift in front of Brittany again for the first time in a while, and just overall just be around friends and family. And like I kind of want to show my best self, you know, in that situation. That kind of had fired me up for a while to just get back to training, hit it hard, kind of be the kind of shape I was in, because me and her both know I don't post true coach videos as much as I should for review. So it was really good to go home. I think I went home in like October or November or something. For about 2 weeks, and it was just good to go home, you know, lift heavy, be with the team, and just kind of get that support that I had been missing out on. Coming over to Europe, like I didn't know what I was going to be able to do in terms of lifting. You know, I'd already looked up the area that I knew we were going to, and already concluded like, yes, there's no gym in like the nearby radius, like in a 30-minute radius. You know what I mean? The closest one is 45 minutes away, and I knew that I was going to have access to just, you know, go off and go there as many times as I wanted to throughout the week. I knew we were going to have equipment because most units have beaver fits and we have one. So I knew the equipment was going to be there, but I still had to figure out, you know, how I was going to actually lift, like where I'm going to lift. And lifting outside, like I'm no stranger to doing that. If you go back on my page far enough, you'll see during the COVID era, I was back at West Point. We were lifting outside all the time, me, Grant, and Chris Bang. So lifting outside, it was already I was already accustomed to lifting outside, so I was down to do that. But over here, the weather's way different, especially the time around that winter, spring time frame. It rains a lot, it's cold, it's just not the conditions to consistently lift outside in. Luckily, there's a maintenance bay that we could lift in. The floor was terrible, like it was not even, it was just bad, like all ripped up. Had found a piece of wood that I could make a little platform out of, and just kind of got to it from there. Just slowly was able to be more consistent and train every day. And then we did find ways to get to that gym that was 45 minutes away. So I'll put some videos of that here, and you'll see that I was kind of just doing my heavy days there. I was only going up there once a week. But that combination of lifting in what I was calling the Gulag gym and going to do my heavy days in that gym up north was kind of getting me what I needed. You know, I mean, actually, it got me what I needed. I could do, you know, those 4 days in the Gulag where I didn't really need to go too heavy, and do that heavy day in an inside setting where I knew the ground was going to be level, the weights were good, you know, so on and so forth. It was quote unquote optimal setting, you know what I mean? And during that period, I was able to hit a 104 snatch and that 136 clean and jerk I posted. And that's what kind of like finally sparked that, like, okay, damn, like maybe, you know, I should look into doing a qualifier here and build back up to where when we get back to the States, you know, AL2 or maybe just another state or just like bigger local competition. Like, you know, let's just get back to competing essentially. And about 2 months ago, I hit up B and I was like, if I could figure out, you know, the logistics of it, doing a qualifier in June, AL2, you know. And now we're in June. It came up quick. So we're doing this qualifier tomorrow and I feel good. Like I was saying earlier, this is probably the strongest I've ever been. And I'll say the strongest I've ever been as an actual 81. And I think what led to that was training so long and not competing, and then training so long as like around like 84, 85 before I started cutting down. And I think that has finally let me fill out the weight class more, because when I first started, I would normally float under 81 or right at 81 to where I never really had to cut weight. It was just kind of watching what I ate. But I don't think I was ever able to push myself as hard as I do now in training. I didn't have the extra weight or extra weights or extra muscle on me. So that wasn't even something I really like planned to do. Or no, that was something that came about really because when I kind of looked at my long-term schedule and saw that I was going to compete for a while, hit up Steph, the maker and owner of Brooklyn Lifting Co., and kind of hit her up for a diet plan. Yeah, hit her up and I was just kind of like, hey, like, you know, fuck it. I'm not competing for a while. Let's book up a little bit. Let's just lift, do what I got to do. Let's just see how strong I can get and kind of how much muscle I can put on without, you know, going into the 89s basically. So that's why we end up settling around like that 83, 85 range of just kind of like walking around weight and training weight and not having to worry about making weight or a competition. And just every time I could step in the gym, it was just focusing on getting better. Just lifting with intent and aggression is my two favorite things to focus on. So I think tomorrow, I want to say I'll PR. You know, I want to say that. Mentally, I think I have it in me, and I've felt pretty fired up all week to do it. So I think I have a PR in me. I don't know if it'll be snatch, clean, and jerk, or both. I'm very excited to see what comes of tomorrow, and excited to see what Matt is able to hit tomorrow. I think that it will definitely be a good benchmark to see how much stronger I can get before AL2. I think that kind of sums up the story in the context. If anybody has questions, you can always comment below, hit me up on Instagram. I'll respond to pretty much everything, so just hit me up and I'll answer whatever questions you have about this experience. But yeah, I'm gonna wrap this up. Like, comment, subscribe, and follow me on Instagram. We're almost at 1,000, 9 to 1,000, so follow me on Instagram and just keep progressing.